10 years ago, Armored Republic tested this very armor plate. It is a heritage build-up coat, and they tested running it over multiple times, dropping it from 15 feet multiple times, and then shooting it multiple times with M855 and then 308. And we found it stopped all those bullets easily, and it just demonstrated how durable our body armor is. Now, 10 years later, we've got the exact same plate, and we're going to be showing just how durable it is by performing the same test over again and seeing, will it stop those rounds? We think so. Let's start with rolling it over. Let's talk a little bit about the practicality of this test. Obviously, most people aren't going to be running over their armor with a forklift and then dropping it from 15 feet before putting it into their armor vest for combat. However, the durability of armor is very important because there are cases where people have had armor that is ballistically rated for the threats that they were facing, but because it had been bumped around in the back of a truck or had been dropped somewhere along the way, had these hairline fractures that were then vulnerable to those rounds and thus failed. People have died from that. Armor that is made out of steel is not susceptible to this because of how durable that armor is. It can face all of this torture and then be put aside for 10 years and then still be successful at stopping bullets. That's why steel is so good for the free man.
All right, so we're about to do the drop test. 10 years ago, we dropped this multiple times from 15 feet. We're gonna do that again. We have a steel plate because we're more concerned about the concrete getting damaged than the plate or armor itself. So we're gonna go ahead and raise this up and give it a drop. 3, 2, 1. All right, hold. First drop, nothing. Well, no, the plate, his phone.
No, it's not gonna hit it. It's gonna bounce over.
A funny note, one of our cameramen tried to record the armor plate falling from the perspective of a landing pad, which came horrifyingly close to crushing his phone.
Whoa! Whoa, that was close!
However, his phone overheated.
Oh, my phone overheated!
It looked like it was falling towards it.
I was like, no!
This time we're gonna drop it on the strike face. 1. All right, guys, so we just dropped it 4 times from higher than 15 feet, and now we're gonna go ready to shoot it. So as you can see though, virtually no damage. This thing is a tank. Let's go shoot it.
All right, so Mr. Cortez, he's got a 5.56 Tavor 16-inch, and I've got a 16-inch 308, and we're going to be testing the Heritage build-up coat 10 years after, doing the exact same test, and we're gonna see if it can stop all those penetrations once again. We think it will.
The moment of truth, no penetrations.
It's been hit with 10 rounds of green tip, numerous rounds of 308, more than 10, and you can see there's 0 penetration. So let's talk a little bit more about the performance of this plate. Obviously, it stops the penetrations of over 20 rounds, and it has very little backface deformation, which mitigates the energy transfer into your body. So this plate passed with flying colors 10 years after a torture test previously. Let's talk a little bit about the fragmentation though. As you can see, this is a built-up coat, so it's got a little bit more frag protection than usual, but it's a little bit deformed. Now, this is because our old frag lock solution had a bit less elasticity, but we have improved the solution since then, which is why when we did this test on a modern A2, the front is completely flat, and this probably could take even more rounds and be completely fine. There is on both of these plates a little bit of frag that might have come out the side, but the plate carrier would have held this plate together so as to make sure that that frag did not escape at any dangerous speeds. For that reason, the modern plate or the old Heritage, both of them would be very effective at protecting you against round after round after round, which is the most important thing when you're in a gunfight. I hit it right in the bungee. Okay.